Today, I have the unfortunate responsibility to inform you of the rookies, the 5 rookies with the worst landing spots for fantasy football.
for
Let's
Dynasty.
get this thing started. Let's get this thing rolling with Emeka Egbuka. And I think that this one's pretty obvious. I mean, the Buccaneers are a smart organization, and I think they're smart for taking Emeka Egbuka, but we all know what the depth chart is at wide receiver. It's Mike Evans, it's Chris Godwin, it's Jalen McMillan, who came on strong last season when Chris Godwin got injured. And we all know that Emeka Egbuka, I think he's versatile, but he played a lot of slot in college, and that's where Chris Godwin's likely going to play. And he's probably going to have to beat out Jalen McMillan. You know, this absolutely kills Trey Palmer and Sterling Shepard if we had any hopes for those players at all. Just how many weapons does Baker Mayfield need to throw to? I mean, I guess the answer might be not enough. And a lot of people thought that they were going to go linebacker, that they had some other needs. Nope. They go with best player available. They take Emeka Egbuka and at least really, really tarnish his value. The next player we are going to talk about is Damian Martinez. And there were some rumors that came out during the draft that I guess Damian Martinez didn't have the best interviews. There was some off the field stuff with him, but getting drafted in the 7th round is bad enough. Getting drafted by the Seattle Seahawks is even worse because standing in his way is not only Kenneth Walker, but also Zach Charbonnet, 2 round 2 running backs that the Seattle Seahawks have invested in the not too recent future. And oh, by the way, also Kenny McIntosh. He's probably going to have to beat out Kenny McIntosh for RB3 reps. And I just don't really see a path forward for him as much as I like him. And I do like him as a prospect. But with Kenneth Walker there, with Zach Charbonnet there, with this weird offense that they're going to run, I thought about talking about Torrey Horton too, as well in this offense behind Cooper Kupp and Jackson Smith and Jigba, the slottiest wide receivers in the NFL, with Sam Darnold at quarterback. I just don't think it's an offense that's going to be super high powered because of the quarterback. I'm skeptical of whether or not Sam Darnold can succeed outside of Minnesota, outside of the Kevin O'Connell offense. And as a result, for all those reasons that I mentioned, I just don't think that this is a good fit at all. And it's a terrible landing spot. It's a terrible outcome for a prospect that we once had some high hopes for in Damian Martinez. The next player that we're going to talk about, and this is going to be the most polarizing one in the bunch, and that is Shedeur Sanders. I do think I have some conspiracy theories behind this, and they all have to do with one, Jimmy Haslam. I think Jimmy Haslam was whispering in the ear of who Andrew Berry and Coach Kevin Stefanski going, guys, Shedeur Sanders is falling. Shedeur Sanders, he keeps falling. He could be something, guys. We should take him, even though the rest of the NFL is saying this guy's no good. We can't deal with him. We don't want to backup quarterback on our roster with the Deion Sanders drama surrounding it. We don't want that, guys. But no, Jimmy Haslam strikes again, and the Browns, who took a quarterback in round 3, take Shedeur Sanders, and now they have what is without a doubt, and we'll talk about another quarterback room later in the video. This is without a doubt the most convoluted quarterback room in the NFL. You have a Deshaun Watson who's hurt and is likely going to miss most of the year, if not all of the year, with an Achilles injury. You have Joe Flacco, who you've signed, Kenny Pickett, who you've signed in free agency, and now 2 rookie quarterbacks that you use draft capital on. And you took another quarterback ahead of Shedeur Sanders. So let me get this straight. Are you really going to carry 4 quarterbacks in a world where a lot of teams are carrying just 2? Are you really going to carry 4 quarterbacks and potentially 5 when Deshaun Watson returns from injury? I don't think so. So what's the solution here? I suppose they could cut Joe Flacco or Kenny Pickett and just go forward with Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders as their 2 and 3 quarterback. But like, what's the plan here? And I don't really see much of a plan because they trade back in the NFL draft, which is smart. They gather resources for the next draft. So they're probably going to be targeting a quarterback in that draft. And I commend them for drafting a quarterback in this draft, taking a shot on Dylan Gabriel, who I really like, but then to follow it up with Shedeur Sanders, it just puts him in a terrible situation. It puts your coaching staff in an awkward spot. I just don't like it at all. It's nothing against Shedeur Sanders. He's an okay prospect, not great in my opinion, but it's a pretty terrible outcome for him in the NFL draft. We can all agree on that. And in my opinion, it's a very bad, terrible, I mean, really bad landing spot. So Shedeur Sanders, no bueno. The next, we're gonna talk about another quarterback here, and we're gonna talk about Tyler Shough. Tyler Shough winds up with New Orleans, and I know what you might be thinking. You might be thinking, well, Seth, Tyler Shough might play right away because Derek Carr might be hurt. And I'm here to tell you that the mystique surrounding Tyler Shough makes no sense. Look at what he did in college. And the answer is nothing. He did nothing in college until this year. In fact, he had chances at Oregon and Texas Tech, and finally at Louisville this past season at the spry age of 39, or however old he is, 25, going to be 26 this year. Going to be 26 years old. I mean, this is Brandon Weeden 2.0 is what we're talking about here with Tyler Shough. Give me a break. In round 2, it's a horrible pick, and it's a terrible situation for a young quarterback to be thrown into. I get it. Kellen Moore, offensive coach. I understand. You have some weapons. I get it. But this guy never completed, when he attempted more than 100 passes in college, never completed better than 63.5% of his passes, and that was in 2020. I mean, consistently hovering around 60% completion percentage, that's not going to cut it in the NFL. I get it. He's big. He's mobile. Maybe Kellen Moore sees something in him, but if they throw him into the fire right away, he is going to fail. He's going to fail. And as a result, and I don't know what New Orleans is going to do. New Orleans is the weirdest franchise in the NFL. You tell me, like, I suppose they're easy to predict in the sense that they keep doing stupid things over and over and over again, like pushing their chips into the middle of the table when they have no business competing. I mean, it's the very definition, like it's the Jeff Fisher franchise, 8-8, 9-8, 8-9. It doesn't matter, like laissez-faire, no plan, just, oh yeah, we're going to win every year. But now this quarterback room, I was talking about the Browns quarterback room. If there's no Derek Carr, it's Tyler Shough, it's Spencer Rattler, it's Jake Haener. Yikes. And currently, and I get it, training camp's very far off. No depth charts are set technically, but if they play him right away, it would be a mistake because he needs to sit. He's not a perfect prospect, and my fear for him, even though I'm not the biggest fan, clearly, is that he's going to play right away and he's going to get exposed and his confidence is going to be shaken and he's going to have no chance. So you better hope that Tyler Shough doesn't play right away. Just trust me on this. He's not a good prospect, and he's in a terrible, terrible situation. The last one pains me, but it's good. It's also good. It pains me, but it's good. I love this prospect. He was either, my wide receiver 3 or 4 throughout the whole process, and that's Luther Burden. Luther Burden, it's worse than Emeka Egbuka. I saved this for last for a reason. It's worse than Emeka Egbuka because at least with Egbuka, you can see the logic. Like, okay, the wide receivers are older in front of him. Chris Godwin's coming off an injury. Mike Evans is on the wrong side of 30. The Bears have young pass catchers. In fact, they drafted one just ahead of him, which completely tanks Cole Kmet, but that's another story for another day, in Colston Loveland. So right now, if you look at the depth chart, and we all know this, so I don't really need to say it, but I'm going to say it, DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, they signed Olamide Zaccheaus, who's a good player. They signed Devin Duvernay. They have Tyler Scott, and now they have Luther Burden, who slots into the wide receiver 3 role. But we know that Ben Johnson likes to run a lot of 12 personnel. So you better believe that there's going to be a bunch of packages offensively that don't feature Luther Burden. And yes, will there be games where he pops? Maybe. Does he envision a future where he is the primary wide receiver or primary slot wide receiver? Potentially. But is that going to be this year? Probably not, because there's some weird negative smoke going on surrounding Luther Burden and the interviews and what have you. Steve Smith had some weird comments about it. In my opinion, I didn't quite understand it because he was saying, "Oh well, Luther Burden costs a lot of other wide receivers time at Missouri." It's like, well, yeah, when you're the best player there, a 5-star recruit, you're gonna get in the way of some people playing. So either you're saying Luther Burden's bad, or you're saying that he was shown favoritism, or a little bit of both. It was weird. It was a strange comment to make. The point is this: Luther Burden's good. He just needs to. He needs time to develop in this offense. He needs time to learn, and he's not going to hit right away. But it is exciting 2 to 3 years from now. But like I said, right now you can't really argue that it's a terrible, no good, very bad landing spot for us immediately in fantasy football, and his value is going to take a hit. And like I said, I would capitalize in drafts. I would take him if he slips, just draft him. That is the video. Hopefully you stuck with it to the end. Thank you so much for watching. Do us a favor, click the like button, subscribe to this new South Harmon Fantasy Football channel. You're going to want this content. Trust me, it's going to be so, so good. And until next time, be good, everybody, and we will see you later.